So, hi, I'm Simon. I'm an interaction designer at DoublePoint. We do risk-based input research for spatial computing. And yeah, meanwhile, my work there, we created demos that also had blurred glass material implemented. And today I want to show you how I did that. And yeah, using Passthrough with MetaQuest Pro, we're going to use tools like Unity, like Blender, Figma. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, and right, you need a plugin that is from the asset store called Translucent UI, the Oculus integration, but I'm gonna walk you through all that. First of all, why does this matter, or what is so complex around this? I think a lot of people talked early on when Vision Pro got released that they want to replicate this with Unity and they don't know how this works. And I felt like this should work somehow. I wanted to get this done. This shouldn't be too hard. And I found this plugin. This was actually just for Android and 2D. Or 3D, but not for VR, where you have two screens and all these cameras set up. But with a lot of going down deep the rabbit hole, I figured out a way how to make this work for VR, for Unity, and to get almost the same impression like on Vision Pro or visionOS. It's not so 100% crisp as there, but it's close. And yeah, today I want to show you how to make that happen. So yeah, let's dive into that. So this is basically what we're going to build together today. It's the TV app, and we're going to show you on the Quest Pro how it looks like. Let's switch over to Developer Hub and Cast. Right, that's how it looks like. And yeah, we have two layers that are blurring each other. You can define also when I move around, you see that there's you see the background moving together. It's an HDRI image, but I'm gonna introduce you to all the details later. Let's start with what you need. Let's create a new project. So But let's first start in Figma. We're gonna take the Apple Design Resource visionOS template. You can get it from the community templates, Vision, Apple Design Resources. Yeah, that one. I added to this one here the TV design. Created my own one with placeholder content from Unsplash, with fonts from Google Fonts, and also icons from Font Awesome. I pre-made these, or I prepared the assets that you can export later in for Unity, also an HDRI image. You can also do your own HDRI image with the Street View app that you can get on the App Store for free. But for today, we're going to use that one. We also need this button slice image for Unity. It's basically just a square 1024 by 1024, and make sure that it has this radius. It's going to be the foundation for all beveled plates and of rounded corners, and that's it. Right. So yeah, let's create a new project and rebuild this. I won't walk you through the details how you set up the project. You can do this by tutorials from Valem or from Dilma. Make sure that you install the most recent Oculus integration. It's 57 at the moment. And when you install an editor, make sure it's one of the most recent LTS versions. And yeah, and make sure that you set up the scene for pass-through. That's the important thing. I'm gonna fast forward from here now to the point where we have Unity set it up. So let's start. And one more thing, you have to set it up as URP. Let's call it blurry. Oh, let's call it blurry. So welcome back. Now everything should be set it up. What changed to previous tutorials that you see on the internet is that Oculus introduced a wonderful project setting here, this section where you can just press fix all settings, so you don't have to do stuff in player settings or wherever. It will all be fixed by one button press. That is different to what you will probably see in tutorials at the moment. And yeah, I just checked here that hand tracking works. I activated experimental setting features, enabled pass-through, and I added the OVR pass-through layer and set it to underlay. Then I added a cube, and yeah, and afterwards I go back and check the project settings, see if there are any errors, and then I fix them by pressing the button, and that's it. That's the setup. And yeah, I created a scene with just an OVR camera rig that you can get from the assets. And yeah, we're gonna start from there. Next, you have to install the translucent UI package from the asset store. Go to the asset store. I opened it already here and open it in Unity. Definitely worth to buy this. It has also great support. The guy answered me probably in less than 1 day, always for any question. Cool. And as we are using Universal Render Pipeline, we have to also install the Universal Render Pipeline support package. Here, let's add it here. So now let's set up the project right for this. Here, let's go first in quality. Let's get rid of these. And here we need to set it to demo universal render pipeline asset. Continue. And then in graphics, also here we need to set it to demo universal render pipeline asset. Then let's always check a bit the Oculus settings. Okay, apply. And besides that, also make sure that OpenGL ES3 is on top. The rest should be fine, yeah. Then that is fine, good. Let's double check. Demo URP configs the render pipeline. Right, this should be disabled. And one moment, I'm gonna double check it in my other project. I can also recommend to activate anti-aliasing for better quality of your blurred images. So, right, configs. Here and here, depth texture mode after transparency. Yeah, and now you're good to go. So next, we need to add cameras to the camera rig. So here's the center camera, and we need to add 2 more cameras inside of it. Camera 1, let's call it behind. And let's set it to overlay. And here's nothing as culling mask. And duplicate this, call it front. Let's set it to culling mask. We need new masks, add layer. We need behind, and we need front, and we need overlay. Then go back and set front to behind, and another camera called overlay. And this one should be set to front. And definitely make sure that this is set it right, because it kind of saves you a lot of debugging nerves. Yeah. Then and make sure to remove the audio listeners, because we just want one audio listener. Then here in the center eye anchor camera, add in the stack all three cameras. And behind on top, then front, then overlay. And make sure that the culling mask is set to everything except behind, front, and overlay. Right. Then what I also can recommend is to add this simple camera control that gives you the ability to move around in play mode while you are in the editor. Then you need in all these cameras a translucent image source with the right config. Let's take the world cam blur. It's just a config file, and when you change stuff, it writes it to the config file, so you don't have to repeat the settings for every translucent image source. Right, that should work. Let's set it directly to the right values. Yeah, looking good. Downsample 90. Yeah, okay. Then and overlay doesn't need one, right? Exactly. So then we should be good to go to the next step. I guess there's also a lighting setting. All right, but let's try to use it without that. Okay, I think this should work without any further settings to do. Next, we're gonna create a test canvas to see if our blurred image setting work. Create a canvas. Make sure that the canvas is set to world space and select the camera center eye anchor. Then we don't need the scaler, graphic raycast. So here, let's take a quick look in Figma. We have a panel here, and we want to make sure to have the right values of each size and dimensions. So this one is 1200 by 750 with a radius of corners of 46. So when you go back, let's make sure that the canvas is the right size, 1200 by 750. The position, we're gonna zero it out. Then I know that we're gonna need the scaling factor. Later you understand why. Then we need a translucent image. Let's add the translucent image and make sure to add the right material. I made a mistake that I forgot this step, and I searched really ages to find this bug fix. We need this overlay translucent image, and for later we also need a second one. Let's call one front and one behind. Translucent image, start with behind, and then the source should also be according to the overlay, and also the layer should be right behind. Then make also sure that the canvas is also behind, but always when you change stuff in canvas, be careful and set it to no, because we also gonna have objects that shouldn't be in the behind layer. Let's get rid of this. We need the button 9 slice from Figma. Let's export everything what we have here. Command Shift E. I'm gonna export this. Yeah, perfect. Later on, I'm also gonna provide this Figma template, so you don't need to select all these icons and images again. So Unity, blurry, assets, blurry, textures. When you add textures to Unity, also make sure that you always set the right type of rendering. I can recommend to do it directly afterwards you import stuff, because then you are sure that you don't forget it. You aren't forgetting it. Yeah. Here, select them all and set it to sprite. Perfect. Then we're gonna need this button 9 slice. Make sure it's set to full rect. And we need to edit now the sprite, but therefore we need a package called 2D sprite. 2D sprite, this one. Cool. Afterwards, you can access this sprite editor and type in the value of the radius 254. 254. Now it gets sliced into these 9 slices. And now we can create our custom sized panels with beautiful rounded corners. Is it now done? Any feedback? Apply, okay. I guess I can close it. Cool. Let's go to this translucent UI, add this button slice image, and make sure that it has the right size. I'm gonna stretch it to the parent canvas so it applies the width from this canvas. Make sure to zero out everything here. Then to set the border right, 4.6 is the border's value. Right, and then we're gonna put this to black and put this to 0.5, 1, and 0. That's perfect. Let's double check this here. Yeah. Cool. So where's the camera? It's also there. Let's move the canvas closer to this. So now we should be able to see this cube, I guess, with a blurred panel. Let's see if it works already in the editor. Oh yes, first try, nice. Cool. And let's also try if this works in VR. If this works directly in VR, I'm gonna, wow. I never had that before, that things work on first time, but I also had a long day yesterday of debugging. So let's see. Oh, maybe before we're gonna run anything, I'm also a fan of checking the project settings. Nothing wrong. Cool. Then Command B. Yeah, Android SDK not found. Don't know how to fix this, but it works without. Fixing that. So the it's on and switch to Meta Quest Hub. Activate cast. Perfect. And now double check if Unity is ready. There it comes. Okay. Okay, working. Oh my gosh, it works. Cool. Yeah, so now the cable, you see the box behind, and now you see the blur. Perfect. Nice. That is good news. Next, we want to have something around it. So we don't want the background to be black. So the camera should have some material to blur. And therefore, we need Blender to create a plate and an HDRI, and to place an HDRI stencil in it. First, let's meet in Blender. You don't need to know how to use things. I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to create this. Like here, we just need a basic sphere. Go in edit mode, press A, select all sides, and then go to face orientation. Right. Now you see everything is blue, and we need to flip the normals. Therefore, you go to mesh, normals, flip. And now you see everything is red, and then you know normals are flipped or inverted. That's what we need. Let's save it. Save it under blurry assets, blurry. Let's name it inverted sphere. Cool. Then we also need another object. Let's delete this. We need a plane, a cube. Let's save this already. Oh no, I first gonna edit the plane. We need a plane in the same size like this Figma plate here. 1200 by 750, and here the scale is 120 by 75, right? Right, we don't need the normals here. And right, so let's put this to 10, because now we need to select the edges to bevel them. Go with tab into edit mode and then select edge selector and make sure to select only the corners. Then set the mean, like when you go to item here, the mean bevel weight to 1. Then go to here the cube, add modifier, bevel, and make sure to change the limit method to weight and set this to 4.6 and here 46. And now when you go to object mode and you press Ctrl A, scale, then you have the perfect plate as you wished for. Set it to 1 again. And always when you make changes to the size, like you want a plate, for example, 240, you see the corners aren't in the right scale. Make sure to select the object, press Ctrl A and scale. And here, make sure to put in the right value. Like here, it's again 46. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, 46. And yeah, we want 46 here. Let's go back. This looks good. And now we save it as backplate 1200 by 750. Perfect. Then let's go back to one moment. Is here anything? No, that looks good. Then let's go back to Unity and add this plate behind our translucent UI. Backplate inside of canvas behind it. There we got it. Let's rotate it 90 by 90. And let's scale it to 10. Looking good. And then let's move it behind. I said behind. Okay. Let's also maybe make this plate very thin. And then we can say behind. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Now we need to apply the stencil writer to it from the Oculus integration. Make sure that stencil writer reference value is always 5. Then we need to create a sky dome, create an empty somewhere. The center, make it -100. Soon you're gonna understand why. Sky dome, add a mesh filter, a mesh renderer. Now we need our environment. Oh no, first we need a stencil sky dome as material. It's also from Oculus. And here we can add now our HDRI image. But at the moment, there's also a filter, light color and dark color filter. So the image will look slightly blue. We don't want this. Therefore, we need to edit the shader. We just need to remove one line of code. So So let's go down, down, and down. Here, this. We don't want this. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want return main texture. Perfect. Then let's go back to Unity and now we need the inverted sphere as mesh filter. Here you add another component called mesh filter and then open your inverted sphere and apply it there. And now the sky dome is applied, or this HDRI is applied inverted onto this sphere. And now when we maybe I can show it in the play mode. When we deactivate the blur, yeah, here you see with the wrong rotation, we now have kind of a portal. To fix this, let's rotate it. Can directly get the right values from here. It's 90 and 180. Or you can move wherever you like. Whatever suits you best. Maybe this. 320. Right, and now when you have the translucent UI over it, you should be able to see in play mode the blurred background. Oh, yes. Nice. Nice. Cool. Cool. Behind, yeah. So next we want to create an overlay, like a bar below that. And therefore you need another canvas. Get rid of the cube. Let's create another canvas. And that is canvas front. Like before, world space to center eye camera. Let's get rid of this stuff and set the bar to, let's get the size of the bar here, 545 and 68. Zero this, 540. Right, then this again to 025, and gonna be, we don't want event systems here. We want a translucent UI image. Let's copy this one here, and this one should get, like both of them should get the front layer. Yeah. Just for showing that you, previously I mentioned that you shouldn't apply the layer to all children's. That's because the backplate should always be default layer. Also here now we're gonna create as next step a backplate in Blender, again with the same values, 400, 560, I don't know, 545 and 6.8, that was it, yeah. And the radius is 34. Let's change the, oh, what did I do? Let's go back here. 3.4, 34, and then press Ctrl A and scale. Boom. There you got it. Command Shift S to save it under a new name. 545 by 68. Perfect. Then we can import it. Here, same game. 0.01, 10, 10. 1, and where is it? Canvas, translucent, it's there. Maybe let's create a parent, first a child, and that is all. Then it can grab the position of the big canvas. Then we have all at the same place. We can zero things out. Perfect. Position. to apply values from Figma, we need to set the anchor preset to the top, middle, pivot, canvas front, translucent, yeah, okay, zero everything out, make it white so I can see better what's going on. Sometimes the UI is switching from some gradients to white, whatever this is, comes from the translucent UI mechanics. You can go to game and scene again, and then it switches again. However, now this should be 3 point. No, you can't apply here directly the values from Figma. That's a bit sad. So you have to estimate it. So next. We want to position this correctly. Therefore, all right, we need to set the pivot right. So it's 0, 1. And then we can zero out the things again. One. Yeah. Okay. We need a parent object here. Panel at the same area, so we get a rect here. Let's add a rect transform, so we can position this correctly. Okay. 0, 1. Something wrong. Oh, I gotta check this here. Canvas back. Hold up. Canvas and toolbar. Yeah, okay. Wrong. I set the canvas also 2200 by 750 and put this to 2, and then I add a new child. And also here it's centered 0.5 position. Then I add a child called toolbar, put my objects inside of it, and the toolbar gonna have these settings, these anchors. I know from Figma that it's 716, and the size I also apply from Figma, and here I set it to 1, and the pen will be 750. We'll also have this 0 minus 750 and minus 22, 5 and 68, and here 0.5. Okay, no rotation, no scale. Okay. All right, and because the panels should be all in the same layer, we have to move it to the behind canvas. Let's also call it behind. Canvas behind. Behind panel. Let's do it again here. 50 minus 750 minus 22. Okay, and then we have the 0.1, 10, 90, looking good. And here we need again the window stencil rider, so it blurs correctly. And that's it for the panel. Yeah, looks good. -22. And the back plate. Okay, then next. Translucent here, this one. We need to set the translucent image of the toolbar correctly. It should be zeroed out. This should be 0 and 1. Zero out things again. And we need button slice, that looks good. Should be front. And also make sure that the overlay is set to front. Never mix them, because then you get the error message that you just saw. So you have to make sure that the front source gets always the overlay front. So next, why is this not at the right place? Probably because of this. -716, -22. Here looks good. And the canvas. Here. Canvas needs. That works. Let's move. No, that's not right. That's the issue. Yeah, should be centered. Okay. Cool. Front toolbar. This is set to front. Good. Here the radius isn't set right. Let's fix this quickly. Therefore, you have to check the radius there. And I can recommend to always put it a bit higher than you would do it, because then you don't get edgy corners. So 5.7 is my value now. Also for this panel, let's check it. Let's put it to 7.6. It's always a bit random, this pixel per unit multiplier. Right. Let's put this to 1, 0, and this to 0.8. Here black. This translucent UI, same, but with yeah, 0.5. Good. Next, we want to check if it looks good. Everything is right. Yeah, first side looks okay-ish. Let's see how it looks in VR. Command B. Let's open the cast. do it again. Image looks okay-ish, blurs a bit too much. But yeah, there's some effects. We can get this sorted later. Okay. Can quickly do a test. Oh, I hope you didn't see it. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna re-render it in a second and change the blender, the strength of the blur behind demo world. Same demo world, yeah. 10 and 1. Let's make it to 90. Okay, let's render this again and see what happens. Okay. Yeah. It works. Okay. Now let's continue with the next steps. To make it look nice and to add some UI stuff over it. The front toolbar has some issues with I guess it's because of this, but not 100% sure. Let's put it to 8. Next, we want to add UI over this. We want to add some beautiful Figma UI over that. For that, we're going to start with behind. Let's add the TV cover. Therefore, we create an image, UI image, TV cover. Let's add the TV cover over it to the sprite renderer, and it should have already the right size. Again, 1200 by 750. Oh no, wrong. The image is longer. The image is, where is it? This one. We can check it in Unity, I guess, as well. Somewhere here. 1871 by 2048. Okay, 1871 by 2048. Okay, and then let's scale it down to the correct size. 0.65. And as we are now in Figma coordinate system, I can recommend to set the anchor to top left. Then also the pivot to 0, 1. This way we can zero out things easily. 6, 3, 4, 5, 2. You can also take, yeah, let's put it back to 1 and take the right values from Figma. I think these TV cover, they're 1200 by 1030 should it? No, there's something wrong. I messed things here up. Did I? No, it should be 1200 by 1030. Yeah, let's take these values. Let's take these values. 1200 by 1030. No, that doesn't look right. That looks right. Yeah, whatever I did, that should fix it. So now we have the issue that this isn't masked out. We want this whole canvas behind have a mask behind inside. Therefore, let's duplicate this and make a mask and use the button 9 slice to get the round corners. This one. And yeah, this one should be set it to 750 with the right radius, something around 6. And let's put a mask on top of this mask. And now everything like the translucent UI and the TV cover and also the back plate should go below that. Looks good. Then what else? The mask. We can set the mask to stretch because it has the same size like the canvas bit on top. Besides that, looks good. Maybe let's check the radius. .5. Let's check the radius here. 5.7. Yeah, translucent UI should always be a bit bigger to avoid edgy edges or edges with steps. So that looks good so far. Let's double check. The preview in the editor isn't correct. It doesn't show it how it should be like in VR. So next step, we want to add the images and font. Let's continue with the font. I used in Figma the font Lato. Let's get it from my fonts. Lato, check in Finder. We want Lato. Let's take bold. It's a good in between. You can add all separate fonts. I will do it now just with bold. Unity. Let's add this here. Now we need Text Mesh Pro. It might be already installed. Font Asset Creator. No, it's not. Import TMP Essentials. Then you can close it again. Put the Lato font here. Generate an atlas. Save it. Yeah. Can be here, same folder. Then let's add this to below. Oh no, we want text mesh pro. Yeah, let's put it in the same. Now again, the pivot 60 pivot is top left, and I know from Figma. Now I can take the values here 60 and 180, for example. Let's try this 60 and 180. And in Unity it's minus 180. The pivot again should be also top left, so 0, 1. Let's enable the box and zero this out again. Minus 180 and 60. And as font, we want Lato. Font size should be 19. And let's double check that also margin here is set it right. Here, want it directly on the line. Then your designer fellows will love what you do. Because typography and distance matters in spacing. So here, David Attenberg. Perfect. Oh, fuck. Next is Blue Planet 2, 216 minus 216. Paste size 48. 48. Yeah. Like this. Margin should be fixed. Yeah, looking good. And now we want the next TMP to be documentary 19. Again, 19. The color is 545454. Yeah. And 288. Good. Margin should be corrected out manually. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Looks good. Next, this line is white again. Make it white like this. Line break at 4. And it's 325. Next line is this. I got it 405. 405. Gonna copy this. Minus 405. Okay. Looking good. And what else? We want a button. A button. Okay, let's create a button. We need an image. And as you know, rounded corners are done with a 9-button slice, the good one. And let's put this again to top left, 60 and 469, 60 and minus 169. And first of all, the pivot, 60 and minus 400, like this. 149 and 52. 52. And the radius something is 16, but maybe we can use it here. I haven't checked it, why I can use it sometimes and why not. Something around the scaling. I don't know, man. Next, we want something white as children. Go to show. Should be centered, and centered this time. And or maybe just take the size of the button, the parent, and we have the easiest life. There's something, it's not 100% centered, I would say. Maybe because of this. Oh, yeah. That looks good so far, so good. Next, we want to add up next. Up next. Up next is here, and it is 565. Looking good. And next we want here these images. Therefore, we're gonna copy this button. We don't need text inside, we rather need images. Let's take the position is 615 minus 615, and one image has the size of 248 by 164. 248, 164. We want this to be an image texture. Here, this thumb. No, not as bright. We want it as image. Looking good, but now we have the issue that I'm curious. Yeah, now we have the issue that we need a mask again around this. So let's create an empty mask, or let's say thumb. And the image should be the child. And the mask gonna get the image. Thumbnail. Thumb. 160. Okay, let's take 160. Let's say this is 250 by 160. And this image should be zeroed out, yeah. And the thumb should be top left, 0, 1, 60, yeah, that looks good. And now we want the mask and the rounded corners again. 9, button slice. Why is this not happening? Thumb sliced. 250. I need to set this. Does make sense. What is wrong? Thumb 50 by 60. Okay, interesting. So we have the border. It works. Should be 8. Show mask. Image. Let's go. Ah, okay. Apparently the image has to be on top. Good. That looks brilliant. So, and now we want to duplicate this, and now I can show you how to use how to replicate this auto layout feature from Figma to Unity. So now we have a spacing of 30. Let's create an empty game object and call it thumb lists. And here it has the size. Let's set the anchor again, 60. And now, first of all, let's set the horizontal layout group and set the spacing to 30. And this is gonna be a size of 2470. Let me check that I'm not telling you a mistake. It's 1140 by 180. And the anchor should be 0, 1 again. 0 and actually 60. And minus 50 depends. I'm gonna show you later. We're gonna create new grid layouts. Anyways, now we can duplicate this a few times and it creates the desired layout with the spacing of 30. Let's add the other thumbnails for better look. Thumb 3, thumb 4, thumb 5. The rest you won't see it, so I delete it for now. So now we have one row and its title, but we're gonna have this a few times. So we're gonna put this into an empty again, like this is a thumb row. And this thumb row will be group. Cool. And this thumb row will have a size of 2472.12, 220.43. That's basically what you get from Figma. Not the cleanest thing probably, but you know, you can fix this if you like. Should be 0, should be 0, is it? Ah, it's behind the button. Anyways, it can stay there. This is 160. Looking good. This should be 0, and that should be -50. Yeah, now we need the -50. And you get this from... Can you get this from here? I have to estimate it. Yeah, probably this is something you have to estimate. Yeah. Anyways, bro should look good now. Yeah. Okay. Let's round this to... Okay. Now these rows we want to duplicate them. Let's do it similar like here. I did it similar like when I move now this to the top. See, I just need to copy this, and the spacing is 43, so here we basically just need another vertical layout group. Let's put the text here. That's the button. Let's name it button. Let's put all this into a group. Let's call it intro. And put this all into the intro. And it should also be as the same or the right size. 300. Let's get it from Figma. The intro here, it's 287 by 341. 287 by 341. Okay. 287 by 341. Yeah, okay. 0. Oh, there's something wrong. We want this to be 0. This also 0. Now this looks more tidy. So now we have these two objects, 60 and 60, and we can put them together in a... Let's create an empty from the top left corner. We want to create a vertical layout group from there. 1000. Let's make it right. Yeah, it just takes the size of the parent and a pivot top left, and we want a vertical layout group now because it's from top to bottom. Spacing was 43, I guess. Was it? Yeah, and left and right was 60 and 180 on top. That is great. Like, we can now set it here, left, right, top. Can also give it bottom like 60 maybe. And now let's call it thumb column and put both of these here inside. And then spacing isn't done right. Why? See, no spacing. This looks good. Spacing. Probably. Oh yeah, here's the issue. That should be the right size. Then we can set the spacing again to 43 and everything looks how it should be. Beautiful. Let's double check Figma. That's a bit too low. Where's the issue? It's top. Maybe the bottom thing? No. Upper left, 180, top, 180. Must be it. Yeah, here's the issue. There is the issue. The text doesn't start at 0. Ay. How to fix that without messing this up? No. Yeah, that looks good enough. Okay, and now let's double check here again. Now, beautiful, and now it's how it should look. Also similar to Figma. Now I can just duplicate things to the bottom, and it will just apply the distance, the spacing. Nice. I guess that is done for now, the backplate. And now we want to finish the product with the toolbar. Yeah. Let's check this later in VR. Let's do the toolbar first. So in the toolbar, we need a few more buttons. Let's start with the copying the go to show button. Let's duplicate this. And let's put it here. So what do we have here? We have, come on. Oh, I tried to use Unity controls in Figma. Professional. So we have 4 buttons and one buttons with text and one with icon. It's gonna be a horizontal layout group. So I guess we can start with creating empty. Let's say button row, and let's create an horizontal layout group. Top left, size of the parent 2201. Then we want a spacing. Let's check the spacing. Here it's 8 and 12. 8 and 12. Spacing is 8 and 12. Great. And now you can put a button inside. And the button height should be 141 and 44. 141 and 44. Zero this out. And it will get another radius, something around 12. That looks already pretty good. Let's change the text to watch now. Then let's duplicate this button. And they're gonna align later when it's the full line. This button should be called movies with a size of 102 text movies. Oh, good. Is the text size still 19? Yeah, let's double check. 19, yeah, looks good. Then let's directly set the colors right. We have here white and what is the margin? There's something wrong with the margin. -3. -3. Maybe is it? Yeah, should be good. Next, I'm gonna add some transparency here, and we don't need the background. Next is, let's double check, store 85. 85 and store. And the next button is library 100. Library. And the next button will be the icon. So we call it icon. We need an image. No, we don't need the image, but we need another. We don't need a text here. We need another image as child. Come on. Image. Let's show it. Should be white and also 134. Zero this out. Let's add the search image here inside. And we want it to be 60 by 60. And we want it in the center. Oh, it's the same mistake. So, right, and the width should be similar like in Figma, 61 by 44. Yeah, I guess. Looks good. Looking good. I guess we are done. Are we done? Not before testing. Not before testing. Now we should tweak a bit the blur, but we can do it with testing it in VR. Chuk chuk. Come on, B. And let's open. Where is it? This costs. Waiting for connection. Okay. Copying. Now. Okay. Decent. Yeah. And you see now that the back plate gets blurred from the front plate. That's what we want. Now we want to set a bit more blur so we don't see the details. I'm also gonna move the whole thing a bit up so I don't have to sit on the floor. Something like this. And if you want to tweak the blur, you have to go to the cameras behind and yeah, here change it to 60 to increase the blur. Just play a bit with the values. Downsample is to decrease a bit the performance, or to downsample. Whatever, you're gonna figure it out. Right. I guess 60 and 3 was a good value for this. Right. What you have to know in general, this blurring isn't really friendly for performance intensive UIs or applications. So the fact that we have here in front a toolbar that is blurring stuff from behind creates a new camera, or creates a need for a second camera or a third camera. If we wouldn't have this toolbar in the front, we could remove either behind or front and set everything into the layer that we have left. And yeah, having less cameras changed a lot for performance because the whole scene doesn't have to be rendered again. So if you don't need a toolbar, a second toolbar, or something that is in front of it, or something that should be blurred between two layers, then make sure to remove one layer. And I'm gonna show you maybe later, like after we tested it, how to do this to remove to improve performance in general. So now let's test the new blur value. And then I'm going to show you how you can reduce everything to one camera. So let's open the cast again. I would say that looks good. That looks fucking awesome. Shit. I want more UIs like this. Please, Meta, put this into your operating systems. We need blurred material in spatial computing. So now, how to remove a camera and still get this? So I'm gonna save it and duplicate my scene. Blurry with one cam. Oh, with optimized. Let's remove the front camera. So therefore we have to also remove the front layer and set here the cooling mask to behind. Yeah, that works. That works as well. And let's let's set the toolbar. Let's put it below so it doesn't have to blur things. Let's add 20 here, or 30, 40, yeah, 50. I added 40 to that, so I also have to add 40 to this minus 90. Yeah, looking good. Now we're gonna put this basically just into the behind canvas, remove the front canvas, and right, default, no, just this. Make sure that the translucent UI has the right layer and also has the right material and the right source behind. And then behind, everything else should stay this way. It should work and we shouldn't have any need for third camera. Let's move this onto our headset. Now that is, I rendered the wrong scene. Sure, I created a new scene, so I should also add it. Uncheck the old one, build and run. Blurry IPK. What is wrong? Come on. Just build. Now, let's check it. So, translucent image isn't visible. Probably it's behind. Let's see why. Why did because of the mask. Okay, right. We have to move this to there. Yeah. Then it probably works. Let's check. 0.1. Zero. Backplate panel. Can also put this to the same. Let's check in the editor in play mode how it looks like. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, so it's just a preview issue. Let's see how it's on VR. Looking good. Nice. When you reduce a bit the blur, then it looks more like a translucent UI. At the moment, it's like, yeah, a grayish thing. Let's improve a bit this and reduce the blurriness from 60 maybe to 40 and to 2. And run this again. Yeah, now when you move, you see how it is this that moves off you. Yeah, looks decent. Looks decent and very performative. And if you feel fancy, you can create stuff like this. Oh, they're gonna launch what we created. That's basically the app that we work on at this. Zoom. How that it works. If not, I'm gonna show you the video. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the video. The fallback video. So basically we are done here. I'm gonna show you the video what we created. Like this is an interactive version with a raycast, bendy ray, and some hover states, audio, and yeah, there we are testing some input modalities and a visionOS like UI to showcase that we don't rely on hand tracking with our technology. We have basically a watch or wristband that detects our hand position and can, in relation to the headset, and yeah, but that's another story. You can follow us on Twitter and LinkedIn, and yeah, Double Point is the name. Right, a little bubble pop game with eye tracking, pretty fun. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let's switch to, oh, it's already dark. Right. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to share probably the whole Unity package and the Figma assets or the Figma template, so you can quickly check values and stuff. But the problem with the Unity package is that I can't share the translucent UI package, as it's a thing you have to pay. But maybe I can share it without it, so you can just add it afterwards manually. Yeah, let me know what you create out of this. Follow me on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Sometimes I'm sharing stuff from work or things that I'm passionate about. And I would really love to see more translucent UIs around there in VR, because it really matches to this spatial computing philosophy. And yeah, I don't want these bulky plain plates anymore. And yeah, let me know if you have questions. And yeah, I guess with this conference, we will see now in a after talk in a live session. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, write me and text me when you build something with that. I'm curious to know what you create out of that. Just send me screenshots. Thank you. That's it. Goodbye.